Welcome to January's Feature of the Month. I'm Kevin Mosley, and today we're talking about Microsoft Overlay. Overlay is a great product that can make your life much easier managing Microsoft and BlueCat networks. So let's get into a demo and let's see how it can help you out for the new year. Microsoft Overlay is an adaptive application that runs on the BlueCat Gateway platform. It allows system administrators to use one tool to manage Windows DNS and DHCP services while having that information updated in the BlueCat Address Manager. For the first step of this demo, we're going to go over how to import a server into Microsoft Overlay so that we can start collecting information. After installing the Microsoft Overlay application and logging into the gateway server, the first step is to manage the servers. So to add a server, we're going to select the configuration. We're going to put the name of the server, and we'll also put the administrator name. This can also be a user with less permissions, just as long as they're a member of the DNS administrators and DHCP administrators group, but for this session, we're going to use the administrator account. The next step is to create a PowerShell configuration. And to do that, we go to the console on the server and enter the PowerShell command register PS session configuration. In this example, we're naming this one BC testing and running as administrator. We'll enter the password for the account that will be managing the PS session. And now it's successfully completed. We then go back to the browser and type in the session and the server host name or IP. We can then run test. Select our PowerShell session and click Submit. Now the servers have been added. Now that we've configured DNS and DHCP to be imported, which networks and zones we want to import, we will then click on Additional Settings. Here we will set the settings to import DNS and DHCP. As you can see, it selects all of the relevant options, and then we click Save. Next, we can go to the scheduler. We can enable the job to run, and we can set a synchronization schedule. In this case, we're going to synchronize every 5 minutes. So we'll go ahead and hit Save. And then go back in and say synchronize now. The job has started, and we can view the status by clicking on Scheduler. So as you can see, we refresh the browser and we can see that the status is successful. So now we can go to the address manager and refresh our screen here. And now we have the records from that BC testing zone in there, and we can see the subzone of _MSDCS. Additionally, we can go look at our IP space and our DHCP ranges, and we now have the range that was created in Microsoft. We can validate this by going to the Windows Server, Server Manager, DHCP manager, our scope, and our address pool, which matches what is in Address Manager. We can also go to the DNS Manager and validate that the zones have been imported as well. Now that we've imported the data into Address Manager, we can now manipulate the networks in the Microsoft environment. So for our first example, we will create a DHCP range. That is adjacent to our current. We will add a range. This will be the test or the name. We'll set the start of the range. And if we wanted, we could add an exclusion range, but we're not going to do that in this case. We're going to add a server, which is our Windows server, and we're going to add some DHCP options. So here we will put the gateway, and we will add our domain controller as the DNS. We click add. And now the Windows network is added. We can validate this by going to Address Manager to IP space, and you can see we have a 70 network here with the range that we selected. And now if we go to the Microsoft, we also have the range here and the scope options. We can also update the configuration of a DHCP network by clicking on Update DHCP Network and then selecting our network. It will then pull the information. And so now we could do something like add an additional option. NTP server. And we can set a default lease time. And we click update. And the network has been updated. We can validate this by going to the subnet, looking at the deployment options, our NTP server, and our default lease time. And we can also go to the Windows server and validate that the NTP server is now 1.1.1.1. We can also remove a DHCP network as well. Again, we click on the Update Network, we browse to our network, and then we hit the Delete button. Now we have to type delete in all caps to delete the network. As you can see, it's been deleted. We can then go The network range has been deleted here, and we can go to the Windows server and validate the network has been deleted from there as well. We can perform similar actions with DNS zones. For example, we can add a DNS zone by selecting our view and typing the zone name. We'll create it with the default SOA. We'll select our Windows server, and we will notify additional, which is our BlueCat server, and we will make notify explicit and click add. It is now contacting the address manager and the Windows server to create the zone overlaytesting.com. The zone has been created. We can validate this by refreshing address manager. We now see overlay testing, and now we can go to the Windows server and refresh, and we see overlay testing there as well. Now that we've created a forward zone, we can now create a reverse zone. Again, we will go down to the block, and we will create the new reverse zone. We'll then select the server, and again add the DNS option of notify additional servers, and make it explicit. So it has contacted the address manager and the Windows server, and as you can see, if I refresh, it has now created the reverse zone. DNS zones can also be deleted. To perform this, we say update DNS zone. Again, navigate to our zone, and we type overlay testing, and we click search. Now that the fields have been populated, we can select delete, type the delete command, and now the forward record has been deleted. We can also perform the same action for a reverse zone. It has pulled the information. We now click delete, type delete in all caps, and now the zone has been deleted. So if we view here, refresh, the reverse zone is no longer there, and our reverse zone for in address manager is also no longer there. Thank you for watching this demonstration of Microsoft Overlay. I hope you found it informative and see how it could benefit you in managing a heterogeneous network. To learn more and to request a demo, please reach out to your account executive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.